So welcome to the MCP Release 19.0 technical update in the area of MCP security. My name is Mike Kane, Security Architect, and I'll go over some things which are coming out in the MCP 19.0 release in the area of security. The agenda goes through all the different things, most notably some new algorithms coming out in some other areas that we've improved the area of security or moved the window with regard to additional functionality or deprecations. One of the biggest things we've done in the MCP 19.0 release has added some cryptographic algorithms for use by some of our network-based providers, TLS and SSH. The biggest thing in the area of cryptographic algorithms is that they will become deprecated over time because of various analysis or breaks in the algorithm itself. For example, RC4, Triple Des, and others have become deprecated, and we've taken them out of the MCP software by default to make sure that our customers are always secure. There has been a long list of commercial algorithms that should be supported by the United States government. It's been called Suite B for a lot of years. They've modified the list now to be called the Commercial National Security Algorithm Suite, or CNSA for standards. We've taken a look at that CNSA standard and come up with a list of algorithms that kind of merged with what we currently have to complement what we have in MCP already, and we've expanded what we support. So in TLS, we've added some algorithms with regard to EC-DHE key exchange, DHE key exchange, additional AES modes, and additional support of higher level hashing algorithms within TLS. These will be shown in the response to ODT command, TCP/IP status SSL. And I would also recommend that you download the latest ICs for networking, secure transport, and security to make sure that you have all these features available. If you're running SSH, we've added some new key exchange algorithms, which are a little better. So, for example, the group 14 SHA-256 Diffie-Hellman method, the group 16 SHA-512 Diffie-Hellman method, and EC-DH SHA-2 NIST P384. These are all there if you're running Windows Server 2016 on software series 2.1 or higher, or on the Libre 8500. In addition to this, we have a new data integrity algorithm there as well. These will be shown in the ODT, NW, TCP/IP status SSH if they're available for use in your environment. One of the other bigger pieces of MCP security in 19.0 was a start down the road of multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication is being more and more used as a best practice in the area of authentication on critical systems. So in addition to having user code and password, you have something else that you actually have to do or own to get into the environment. It is a very large change to the MCP models of authentication because there are many different MFA providers that have to be supported. There are the enablement of every interface to know about multi-factor authentication and offer it as an authentication option, and also the system configuration behind to figure out what algorithms and what providers are available for what systems and what user codes and things like that. So it's a very big area to get done. For the clients who have been around since we did Kerberos, it is very much the same scope as Kerberos, only multiple types of it, and it's really a large thing to get to do at one period of time. So we've taken a phased approach to implement MFA. With that, we request client feedback to help define what is appropriate for each phase. In 19.0, we've done an architecture, we've done a very, very proof of concept based approach into multi-factor authentication. So we've designed an MFA support library. We have a very simple email-based two-factor authentication process, which is available only for Mark and Candy. There are new security options, new user code attributes to help this done. And we really want to have people use it and then understand what their requirements are with regard to multi-factor authentication, and then let us know. All the multi-factor authentication records will be logged under the major type of 40 and the minor type of 1, and there's been a change to the logon entry in 4.1, which is also to indicate if this multi-factor authentication has been used. So this is an area that's extremely interesting. One of the things that has been on our technical debt for a while is to get rid of all the hard-coded user codes and passwords. So in 18.0, you had hard-coded user codes and passwords of administrator, NAU, and ePortal. Those are all removed out of the 19.0 release. So if you start with a 19.0 quick install, you will find there is no user data file on it, so no hardcode user codes. You have to create them, and there's documentation in the implementation guide to help you through this process if you're starting brand new in 19.0. There have also been a lot of other MCP 19.0 deprecations with regard to some functionality which is no longer needed. For example, the triple DES algorithm is now being deprecated in TLS and SSH due to a vulnerability called Suite 32. We have now always set the SecOps strong passwords so that we have the newer crunch of your password stored. The old proprietary one is no longer stored, and there is a SecOps about that. The credentials options has been removed so that you only can do ClearPath password authentication. You cannot do ClearPath password authentication anymore. It has to be using NTLM. And we've removed some things in Security Center because they are no longer needed or they've been around. We want to start the client base moving away from them. With regard to tape encryption V1 keys, they were around since MCP 15.0. Sorry, V2 has been on 15.0. We've seen a lot of requirements in the MCP client base about secure email. Almost all email providers require the use of TLS for encryption from the email client to the server. In MCP 19.0, we introduced support for implicit mode. Implicit mode is the 2-port model, like HTTP and HTTP-S, and can be configured going to, for example, port 465 and having that secure mail server being running. If you need more information about this, please refer to the System Software Utilities Operations Reference Manual for more details in the area about email support. We now in the 19.0 release also support terminals coming across the SSH protocol, which use the shell channel type. So for example, you would be able to run PuTTY and the Technica SSH terminal from clients to MCP systems. You have to enable the MCP user code to use SSH services. And if you need more details about setting this up, please refer to the TCP/IP Distributed System Services Operations Guide for more information. In the MCP 19.0 release, we've also now enabled Programmer's Workbench to have secure connections to the MCP environment. This is now a way of making sure that data in transit between the Programmer's Workbench and the host is now secured. There's a new SecOps called SecureCom NXEdit, which follows the other SecureComs that are out there, which has values of disabled, allowed, and required. Disabled means only port 126 is there. Allowed means both unsecured and secure ports are offered, and required means only a secure port at 58.314 is allowed. There's a default key name called NXEdit_SSL key, but you can also change that to something else if necessary. More details about the installation are in the Programmer's Workbench for ClearPath MCP Installation Operations Guide for that. The last feature we want to highlight as part of the MCP security environment in 19.0 is Secure Web Enabler. This is an environment which allows you to have either a 2-tier or 3-tier way of connecting in from terminals using the HTTP protocol to MCP systems. In a 2-tier architecture, we allowed a few releases back the ability to secure that with TLS. In the 3-tier model, before 19.0, only the first layer was allowed to be secured by TLS between the client web enabler and the proxy. In 19.0, we can now secure the back channel between the proxy and the MCP environment with SSL and TLS. So you can run now either the 2-tier or 3-tier model in secure between end to end. More details about this can be found Web Enabler for ClearPath MCP Implementation Guide. Thank you.